Hey everyone, welcome back to the old family farm. Oh, it's good to be back. No doubt. I can't think of a better place I'd rather be on a Wednesday night recording an episode for Thursday than the old family farm. It just feels like a nice, comfy pair of PJs that you put on in the middle of winter to just snuggle on the couch and watch some TV. I don't know. I don't know if that's super accurate or not, but that's where I'm going with it. That's right. And I've already said it and I'm recording, so I'm not going to take it back. I hope you're all doing really well. It is, yeah, it's Thursday when you're watching this. We are indeed back on the old family farm. Chickens are continuing their egg production. That's really good to see. Let's cruise on over to the honeybees. Oh, yeah. So I did add some more hives. We weren't really getting anywhere with the ones we had, so I doubled them up. Not a big deal. Got a pretty good, pretty good deal on them, so I decided just to go for it and get that done. Still haven't hooked up with any cows yet, but like we talked about last time, I'm going to wait till we get a little bit of grass and some hay maybe before we invest in some cows. I did, however, I was a little naughty since you last saw me on here in the old family farm. I turned in the old country. That turning radius just wasn't working for me, and picked up this newer Farmall, and I'm really liking it. Very, very nice tractor. International Harvester Farmall 560. I swear one of my relatives, I don't know if it was my which side of the family it was on, had this tractor. I specifically remember this thing. Um, I think it might have had I think it might have had, instead of this front end, I think it might have had the I guess what they call the trike front end or the tricycle front end. But other than that, yeah, she's a beaut. Bought this field. Decided just to go for it. We had some money. Let's get it done. The more land we have, the better, I guess. And been working on getting this thing cultivated so we can get it planted. Let's listen to the Farmall fire up. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds very, very good. Little beep beep. Not too shabby at all. Nice front weight to it. It was actually just about an even trade with the country, so I decided that a little less horsepower. I think it's got 80 horse instead of the 100 that the country had. However, turning radius is significantly better, and she runs like a top. So I think we're just going to stick with it. I like it quite a bit. I think I looked it up, and I think it's a mid 50s through early 60s, I believe, is when this model ran, if I remember correctly. That out of there, get this field finished up. Let's get you caught up on the latest here on the old family farm. So Betty Lou and Tiny are confirmed back in town. I have not seen either one of them as of yet. However, sightings have been made, and so they're around somewhere. They normally, when they get back from their getaway vacations, they normally spend some time in the woods before they come back in public. I think it's their way of reacclimating to society. It'll be interesting to see what they've got going on. The postcard leads me to believe that they either had a true visitation from an alien, or they were abducted. So it'll be interesting to see how that all pans out. But for now, they are back in the county somewhere. I am still in charge of taking care of the store. So I've been kind of taking advantage of that a little bit. Things are a lot easier to get done when Betty Lou is not running it. So I've been taking quite a bit advantage of that fact, if I'm being honest with you. But other than that, it's kind of status quo around here. We're just continuing to work the farm and get things done, more or less. I think Tiny's going to be a little upset with me when he sees me, though. His delivery business has gone idle. I told him before he left I wasn't delivering things for him. I said I'm too busy here on the farm. I don't have time to do that kind of nonsense. I didn't say nonsense, but you know, he got the gist. Did not like it. Did not appreciate it. Cried a little bit, if I'm being honest. He's a very sensitive kind of guy sometimes. Yeah, I haven't done any deliveries for Tiny's delivery service. I refuse. Absolutely refuse. They're weird things too. There's something weird going on with that whole delivery service. You know, I'm getting calls. The idiot gave my phone number to all of his clients, and I'm getting calls from people at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, asking for all kinds of weird things. You know, some of it's code, I think, too, which really makes me a little bit nervous. You know, like one dude called me the other night and said, you know, baby needs his bottle, and hung up. And I'm like, what? What? What do you mean baby needs his bottle? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I don't want to know what that means, you know? Tiny? Yay, yay. So we need to fertilize, right? I think this is the fertilizer. I think that's the seed, and I think this is... Yeah, that is the fertilizer. Okay. Let's go quick fertilize our new field. This tractor sounds a little loud. Maybe it's just in my headphones. It could just be my volume. It sounds a little loud. I like it though. I like that kind of that red and kind of that little bit antique white kind of looking deal. And she's sharp looking. Very sharp looking. I think we'll get a lot done with her. Got to keep things new and fresh on the farm. You know, you can't let things get stale. How does he look in the old captain's chair there? Yeah, he's looking about as erect as he did on the other farm all, but apparently good to go. All right, let's see if we can get this. Let's see if we can get this field fertilized halfway decent, and then we're going to get it planted up. Everything else is in the process of finishing growing. Our grass is in its final stage. Corn has a ways to go. Oh, what else was there? What do we have? Some barley and maybe canola or something over there. I know that those, one of those is in its final stage as well. So we're going to be doing some. We're definitely going to be doing some harvesting here very, very shortly. I was doing a little peeking around at the at harvesters, at combines. I have a couple thoughts and ideas on maybe swapping out the old combine we have for something different. We'll let it go through one more season, and then I think we're probably going to end up doing some making some trades or something with the combine. Maybe we can get. I got my eye on a John Deere that I really, really like, that I think will fit the farm really, really nicely. So, but let's get one more season out of our FAR combine, and kind of go from there. So have any of you checked out the oh, did I just lower that thing? Have any of you checked out the new show, The Last of Us? Just curious. I never played the game. I want to now, though. Not only based on the show, because I did watch the pilot, but just based on what I'm hearing about the game. I haven't really heard anything bad about it, you know? And I guess it has one of the best storylines of any game told, or of any game made, when the time that it came out. And I would say that that could be true. I don't know. I've never played it, but based on the pilot episode I watched on HBO, yeah, really, really good. Really, really good. I was amazed to see that it has like I think it's gotten on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got like a 99% critic rating. It's gotten like the highest critic score of a pilot ever or something like that. I kind of wonder if some of it's not just, you know, people kind of jumping on the bandwagon, and it's, some things get like a momentum. They get like their own momentum going, and people don't want to say they think it sucks because they don't want to be that person that that is different from everybody else, they think, so it's like, oh, everybody says it's amazing, so if I say it sucks, they're, my taste must be bad, or I must not know what I'm watching, or how to properly watch a television show, or some kind of nonsense like that. But I have to admit, I thought it was really, really good. And I went into it with a great deal of concern, because of course it's a zombie show. I mean, it's not a zombie show, but it's a zombie show. And I've had this talk already with a friend of mine, and it's like, it's a zombie show in my opinion. And because I get it, it's not a zombie show. It's not a virus, I'm not going to get into spoilers, don't worry about it. I'm not going to tell you that all of the main characters die within the first 10 minutes. I'm just kidding. But seriously though, I'm not going to get into spoilers and stuff. But I get it, it's like that friend I was telling you about that just can't kind of break away from reality, so he doesn't really enjoy any kind of television, or movies and stuff. And it's just like that. It's like, look, it's a zombie freaking show because people are alive and then they're taken over and they're basically Walking Dead. And that made me nervous because The Walking Dead pretty much took a dump, at about the 4th season. When those idiots got to the prison, that show was over. I mean, it was done. The prison was the demise of The Walking Dead, in my opinion. And before then, it was actually quite entertaining. In fact, the 1st and 2nd season, I was all about it. But the prison the prison was bad. It was bad, and things didn't go well for them, and I don't know. So, it was on, The Walking Dead was on way too many seasons, in my opinion. It should have been wrapped up long before. And now they're doing spin-offs, which are just absolutely milking that cow big time. And of course, I hear like, okay, well, we've got another show that basically, is, we've had some kind of a disease or a virus or a plague, or, pick your poison, that's gone out and taken over these people's minds and stuff. But I gotta say, yeah, really good. And I think what really made it for me was the writing and the characters. Really good acting. I'm already very interested in a couple of the characters. Let's see here. What are we doing here? We are... I probably should have filled this thing up, but that's all right. What do we want to plant? Wheat, barley, oats, canola. I think we need to do some soybeans. Yeah, we can do some soybeans. Sorghum. What did we plant over here? That looks like... Is that canola? What is this? I always get this wrong. All right, so we got canola over here. And we've got barley here. And we've got corn over yonder. And we've got grass. So canola, barley, and corn and grass we've got so far. I guess we could do soybeans. We could do sorghum. Let's try sorghum. Why not? Why not? You know, giddy up. Let's just knock it out. Get it done. So yeah, I'm gonna be watching it for sure. And unless the show just absolutely destroys itself, I think it's gonna be end up being quite a good show. And my understanding is that the people that wrote the game story are also involved in it. That a lot of the game creators are involved in it. And I also was told, I listened to a podcast where they were talking about this show, and they said that the creators have already said that they're not going to let it go on and on and on. That they're probably looking at it being like a 3, maybe 4 season show. Which, you know, when you really, really love a show, you want more. But sometimes it's just better to let them go. You know, make a quality 3 or 4 episodes and let it go. And episodes are so much different. I was looking at like the Addams Family. I was checking out a couple episodes of the Addams Family, just absolutely hilarious. And it shows that it shows in IMDb that the show was only on for 2 seasons, which I thought was really not what I expected. I was thinking that show was on much longer. But seasons back in the 60s were like 30, 35, 40 episodes. They were, considerably longer than they are today. So that kind of does make sense, but I don't know. I watched Wednesday on Netflix, and I really enjoyed it. I just thought it was, it had its flaws, and no, it's not going to be, an all-time great show for me, but it was a lot of fun to watch, I thought. And I've always liked Wednesday. I think Wednesday has always been kind of Wednesday and Morticia have always been my 2 favorite Addams Family characters. I think Wednesday's the best though. She's just she's amazing. So, and I think what's her name? Oh shoot! Of course I forgot her name. Anyways, the gal that does Wednesday does a great job. Just an absolutely fantastic job. So yeah, I'll keep watching The Last of Us. I'll keep checking it out and seeing where they're going to go with it. I kind of have, it's all new to me. So I kind of like that. I haven't played the game. I don't know the story. I've heard that the story is going to follow pretty darn close. We'll see. I've also already heard that there's some anal retentive people out there that are like, well, the story is not exactly following exactly the way that the you know the game was, and you're always going to get people like that are going to be like, you know, in the game her hair was black and she's a blonde in the TV show. How dare they stray away from canon? It's like, wow. Hey, to each their own, man. I watch this dude not regularly, but he pops up on my feed. Again, thank you, YouTube, for making an assumption that because I've watched something for like 2 minutes, that's like now my all-time life hobby. So I watched some show about Star Wars. There's like Star Wars Theory, I think the YouTube channel is Star Wars Theory. This dude is absolutely, without question, the most into Star Wars I have ever seen anybody in my entire life. Lives, breathes. I honestly think it sometimes believes that the Star Wars universe is actually real and he's actually teaching a true history lesson. Hey, more power to you. If you're that into something and you love something that much, go for it. That's absolutely fantastic. I can't help but just sometimes just be absolutely taken back by how into things people can be. And speaking of, The Last of Us has the dude, the Mandalorian, Pedro, or I should just have my phone next to me so I can look this stuff up when I'm talking about it, so I don't tell you guys stuff and just completely draw a blank about every person I ever talk about. But the Mandalorian, the dude that plays the Mandalorian, is basically one of the main characters in The Last of Us, and I really like him. I think he does an amazing job. Lady Mormont from Game of Thrones, I think they called her Lady Mormont, maybe they didn't, I don't know. Leanne Mormont, or Leanna. She was like a young girl in Game of Thrones that was like represented the House of Mormont, the Mormont house, but she was like a badass. She was amazing. And she was like one of my favorite side characters in Game of Thrones, just because she was so tough for like this young girl. And it wasn't a fakey, it wasn't a fake tough or like a weird, creepy, this doesn't feel right tough. She just played the part. In my opinion, she played the part like perfectly. And she's in The Last of Us, which I was happy to see because I think she does an awesome job. Again, not getting into spoilers or anything like that. Or as I'm being told now, they're not spoilers anymore, they're spoilers. Huh? Get it? Spoilers? Yeah, that's right. And then the girl from, the lady from Westworld, oh man, if I don't remember this one, she was the main, she was like the manager or the main chick at the bar, the the house of less repute, the you know what I'm saying, her daughter. And I didn't know this when I watched it, and I was like looking at this girl, and I'm like, man, you remind me so much of somebody, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And then it didn't dawn on me, actually. I ended up looking it up, and I'm like, yeah, okay. That makes total sense now as to who that is, for sure. She does an amazing job, so... yeah, great stuff, really, really good stuff. I'm looking forward to it. Check it out if you haven't, if you can, on HBO. I don't know. There's some shows like that I used to subscribe to HBO just for, like I didn't, and then I would stop subscribing when the show was done. One of them was Game of Thrones. One of them was did I do it for Westworld? I'm not sure if I did it for Westworld or not. I must have, unless Westworld was on during another one. I paid for HBO to watch The Leftovers. Again, amazing show if you haven't watched The Leftovers. Only 3 seasons. Absolutely fantastic. Way up there on my favorite shows list for sure. And then there's shows that I watch like now I kind of have HBO, I think, pretty much full time right now, but like Curb Your Enthusiasm, of course, I watch that. It's pretty hilarious. Have you? Oh man, I don't know if I should talk about this one though. I'll talk about it, but I'll talk about this show, but I won't be as brutal as some people I know have been over this show, even though I totally agree with much of the many of the reviews that have been on this show. But have you seen this absolute train wreck of a show, Velma? Unbelievable. And I am so sorry that I took the time to watch episode 1, but I felt like I needed to because I was hearing so many crazy things about this show and how whack it was and how far off of the Scooby-Doo franchise. And it almost sounded like when I was listening to people talk about it, I honestly thought people were just actually lying to me. Like, something can't be that ridiculous and that bad. And it is. And I had to watch it. So I watched episode 1. And it is. It's so bad. It is so bad. And it's just getting absolutely destroyed on ratings and reviews. And it's a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Something I would be embarrassed to be associated with. And that gives me a little bit of, it kind of makes me kind of happy because I'm glad the world isn't that far gone yet to where a show like Velma will be praised. I'm glad that that the majority of us still have a sense of taste, a sense of, well, yeah, I'll stop there. But just a sense of normalcy. Thank God they left Scooby out, man. I'm so glad they left the freaking Scooby out. I'm glad they didn't bring him along to this stinking disaster. That's for sure. Holy cow. So yeah, YouTube is still feeding me stuff. It's still feeding me Love Boat. I swear I'm getting the entire, I'm getting like this weird collector's edition of Fantasy Island. Like, I even thought I saw the other day that it was telling me that I needed to watch this on-aired episode or some nonsense. And I'm just like, wow, man, this is getting out of hand, It's getting way out of hand. It makes me really like think twice about what I search for and what I spend any amount of time watching, because YouTube thinks that's just that's it. Aha! He watched an old Wendy's commercial. Where's the beef? So, based on the 30 seconds that he spent watching a classic old Wendy's commercial, we can also now assume that A, he likes hamburgers, B, he's a Wendy's fan, and 3, old women. That's the logic I'm feeling like I'm getting from YouTube. He likes hamburgers, he likes them from Wendy's, and he likes them with old women. that's what, and take it for what you want, but that's the that's the feeling I'm getting, and it's just kind of creeping me out. So thanks, but no thanks, YouTube. I almost want to like have a second account, you know, that I can just almost like having a Yahoo email address now. Like you probably all have like a spam email address, right? That's the email address that you use, you know, because on websites that require an email address. And I'm trying not to hit these ducks, but it's almost, I've given up almost on it because most of them just run out in front of the tractor. But we all have that email address that we can use, and that's my Yahoo email address, right? Well, that's what I think I'm gonna need for a YouTube account, is a trash YouTube account that that I can log in with. I can watch a bunch of stuff that, you know, I'm either just a little bit interested in, or, you know, or something where I know that if I know YouTube is going to think, you know, that it's my new hobby and my new love, you know. All right, get out of the way, duckies. Get out the way. Don't you move. Yep. Oh, I scared that one. I think that one got a little freaked out. So let me know what you all think about Lost of Us. If you've checked it out yet, I'd be curious to hear. I really haven't talked to anybody that hasn't really liked it. I mean, not everybody that I've talked to, and I've only talked to like, I suppose I've talked to like 6 people, and only one of them was like, you know, drooling over it, just like, this is the most epic, this could be the most epic show. And then the other ones were basically like, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a really good show. Yeah, like that kind of thing. I've got a friend that's been like harassing me almost at this point to watch Yellowstone. I have not watched Yellowstone. It's not for any particular reason. I just, actually, the reason I haven't watched it is because I don't think I have found it on any streaming services that I have. I think that's really ultimately the reason I haven't watched it. And I still don't think you can stream Yellowstone on Netflix or Hulu, HBO. Maybe I'll try and borrow a friend's like Xfinity thing account or something like that, and see if I can stream it that way. That little part right there is gonna bug me. There we go. But he loves it, thinks it's a great show. And he knows, you know, the kind of TV I usually watch, and it does sound like it would be pretty entertaining. So I'm kind of thinking, trying to find a way to watch Yellowstone. I don't know, it's just that kind of time of the year when I'm still waiting for... I've really got my fingers crossed for the new season of Fargo. I'm really hoping the best for that. I really need a good season of Fargo. I was just completely disappointed in the latest season of American Horror Story. I just didn't enjoy it at all. I really didn't. And I hate to say that because this is a show that I absolutely love. Absolutely love American Horror Story. And this season just did nothing for me at all. I quit watching it, actually. I really haven't even finished watching the latest season. And people I've talked to that did watch through the whole thing said that it was probably was the weakest season so far. I think some of it has to do with just reoccurring characters weren't back. You know, some of the actors that Sarah Paulson, some other actors. What's that other girl's name that? Joe. She's got kind of a boy sounding name. I love her as an actress, so she's pretty freaking awesome. She's not in it. So because of that, I ended up rewatching Ratchet on Netflix, which again is another Ryan Murphy show. You know, another American horror story-esque show, I guess you would say. And again, not disappointed. I think it was my second time watching it, maybe my third. I think only second. And really, really love that show. Really well done. And I've heard rumor season 2 may be coming out for Ratchet, which I think would be awesome. Come on, get into gear, brother. You can do this. I think we're getting a little bit long in the tooth on the episode, but I am going to take you all along with me for the rest of this field. We're in it together. We're in it to win it. And I am enjoying this. I'm enjoying this farm all quite a lot. I think it's doing a really nice job. I actually quite like that spread axle in the front. It kind of makes it with these kind of these smaller planters and stuff. It kind of makes it easy on the inside view to line up, because if you can see that tire, your front left tire, and keep that right along the edge, you're pretty much right there, good to go. Yeah, just keep that nice and even right there. See if she's got some. Yeah, it's got some dash lights. Nice, nice. So I have not heard any news on when Farming Simulator's first DLC is going to be out. Have they announced a date yet for the, I think I'm missing a little strip back there. Have they announced a date for the first DLC yet? I don't think they have. I'm already kind of looking forward to some new content. Mods are starting to kick back into the swing of things again. It's pretty cool. I was surprised today. I went out before I started recording. I went out to King Mods and just took a look real quick there what excuse me, what new mods they were showing off, because they'll show off, you know, mods from that aren't in the in-game download, the in-game mod hub. And there were 3 that I picked. They were all happened to be trucks, and based on what I saw, what I read, the pictures, I pretty much assumed at least 2 out of 3 of them were going to be complete train wrecks. You know, errors, just, you know, not going to happen. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that all 3 of these things were error-free and were actually really decent looking mods. I was actually really happy. One was a semi. I forget if it was a Freightliner or what it was. Quite a large download. It was like 130 meg or something like that, so it certainly was not small. But it was well built, well textured. It had decent sound. I'm just gonna pick up these little spots I missed, and we'll come back and hit that. But the other one was an old, looks like an old 40s, 50s looking trailer really sharp looking, actually. That one ended up being really, really sharp looking mod. The interior was really well done. If I remember right, that was also a fairly large sized, over 100 meg size mod, but looked very, very nice. I think the third one was a Chevy grain haul truck, a Chevy box truck for hauling grain, and it was well done too. It you know, wasn't as fancy as the other ones, but it was definitely a solid mod, a well done solid mod. So it was good to see. I see Dents also released a new John Deere 6030 Premium version 2.0. You all know how big of a fan I am of Dents's work with the John Deeres. So that looks like that came out today. Today being Wednesday, so you're watching this on a Thursday. You should check that out. Just look up his name, DINCE, and you can throw the V2 on the back of that if you want to, and you'll find him out on King Mods. He's got a full page out there of John Deere tractors that he's done, and they are just really top notch. Very, 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 very well done. And I mean, you could have John Deere tractors to your heart's content. Just downloading his collection, that's for sure. Looks a little spotty, but I think some of these spots are just part of it. I don't know. I'm not gonna get too fussy, but I think we're in pretty good shape here. Let's take a quick peek before we get out of here. Let's take a quick peek at our map. What did we just plant? Now I totally forgot what we planted. Sorghum, right? Sorghum it is. Sugarcane. Yeah, sorghum there. All right. And I think we've got one layer. So we've got one layer of fertilizer. We'll have to wait for a growth period. We'll put down our second layer of fertilizer. Does it need rolling? Well, that's interesting. Does sorghum not usually need rolling? Huh. I wonder why it doesn't need rolling. That's actually kind of curious. I assumed it would need rolling, actually. Interesting. All right, I'm okay with that, I guess. If you don't want to be rolled, you don't have to be rolled. It's all good. Yeah, I did sorghum, so interesting. All right, let's get you back to the farmhouse. And I think we're in pretty good shape. We can check on its maintenance, make sure that we're good to go there. And I think that is going to do it. Man, these episodes go by so fast. These old family farm episodes in particular, I just feel like they just absolutely fly by. Just love this map. Love the old equipment. Love just taking some time to get things done on here. And it's just, hopefully you all enjoy it as much as I do, that's for sure. Nice detail on this tractor too. Really, really nice. Let's take a quick maintenance peek at it here. $3 for the tractor. You can't beat that. No repairs for our seeder. We're not going to do any repaint. I'll show you real quick the customization on this thing. It's the Case IH Farmall 50. What is it? A 50 560. If I can talk. 80 horsepower is what we've got it set right now. You've got some engine options. In fact, you've got quite a few engine options. Lowest at 50, 55, 60, 68, and 80 for the old turbo. Wheel setups, I just went with, I think, pretty much standard. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not the wheel type. This is actually the tricycle versus the four-wheeler. I might actually switch to the trike and try the trike. I'd be curious about that. Maybe a little tighter turning circle or radius with the tricycle. And they don't charge us anything for the trike. So yeah, maybe we'll give that a go. Front weight, yay or nay on that. Standard, no. And then you can just build up the front weights as much as you want. I built up to the heaviest front weight. Thought that would do us the most amount of good in general. Exhaust design, design 2. There's design 1. I kind of went with the little cued off pipe there. What else do we have? Seats. Design 1 on the seat. I really like that red and white seat. You've got this guy here. I thought this would kind of chafe my butt crack. So I so I went with this one. And yeah, plus I kind of like the way that red and white looks. I think that's a really cool looking seat. Fenders, yes, and fenders, no. I actually kind of debated on that a little bit. I actually really kind of liked the very basic, because I think this is what my relative had. I think it might have been my great grandpa, but at the end of the day, I went fenders. I thought they looked kind of nice. Light position, design 1. The lights are back here by the driver. I think you can bump them forward up here if you want to. So you can have them forward or back. I just went with the back side back here because that's kind of the way I think I remembered the one I was in our family, I think. And then for colors, you've got multiple reds you can choose from. Rim colors, you've got the red, white. You can even do black if you want to. And of course, a license plate. So it's a pretty, it's not highly configurable, but it's got nice configurations to it. I think it's a really nice looking tractor. Sounds nice, runs good. So I think it has found a nice little home here on the old family farm. And with that, I guess I call it quits. Thank you all for joining me. I really do appreciate it. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It's great to have you all along for the ride here. Keep the ideas coming. If you got any thoughts on how we can advance here on the farm, I'm certainly open to that. I think we're moving along. Money's tight. That's just the way this kind of setup is going to be. We're not going to make a lot of money fast, but we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun making the money we do. That's for sure. And I will see you tomorrow, Friday, hopefully back in East Vineland, where we definitely have a lot of money. And we're going to be spending a lot of money, I think, back in East Vineland. So thanks, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.